You see me? Hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? Okay, figured I'd make a video um to correlate with the last video I just made. Pay attention to my filters here, because this is how your phone gets hacked. Your lens will get pissed with, and it won't go in focus. And this is a way to hack the phone. Okay, it's through the optics, the opticals, and your CCD. But that's not the main point of this video. I was just I received in a notification, and there was something about cartels. Listen to the birds if you could hear them. Something about the cartels operating off of tribal land. Okay. Now, as far as I'm under this understanding of tribal land, they have their own law, if I'm not mistaken, correct? It's their land. It's not the Fed. It's not the Fed, so they can do whatever they want. Yes, no, I'm not sure, but I will correlate this with I seen a drug deal on Vice News on a Hollywood red carpet, a cocaine deal on a Hollywood red carpet, and they filmed this and aired this on television. Number one, because what they're saying is you're watching us anyways, so we might as well just film ourselves and say we're doing it. Because now you're getting to pick and choose who you want to be the drug dealers and not the drug dealers. This is like I could almost say the cartels can agree on this. For anybody that gives a shit and that is listening, the first thing you got to do is legalize the shit. No matter what it is, it's already here. Okay, I know it's the hardest thing to process, but I could go to the store, buy a bottle of alcohol, a pack of cigarettes, and a joint right now, and just literally sit there and smoke it and drink it. And then I could drink the whole bottle, get in a car, drive, and kill someone. No difference. Second thing is what I talked about in my last video. About when the DNA and the immune system and the sexual body all get together, and it starts to raise the frequency of the body. And that's like the antenna, okay? Your brain's the receiver, your body's an antenna. And that will change your antenna, and it will be harder for whoever is using you as an antenna to communicate with whoever they're communicating with. Okay, so now, if you're saying you don't know how they're communicating with one another, this, that, and the third, you got every avenue picked. You got every avenue looked at. Okay, DEA. Okay, you got every avenue picked. The cell phones, the landlines, the computers, whatever, bank accounts, humans on the street, whatever. You got it all picked. Do you have the option picked where they're using the human being as the antenna to do wheeling and dealing? It doesn't even have to be drug cartels. This could be over highly sensitive information, like my sex crystals, highly profitable. Okay, whatever 3D parts, sensitive information. Okay, so when you do wheeling and dealing and you use a human being as an antenna and have ring resonance filters, and then you could connect their brain to an animal, their brain to another human, their brain to trees. Because your brain will literally, your neurons, this is how far advanced we are. DEA, FBI, CIA, all you guys. Because it's called a Maylene, Meline, whatever. I'm no super scientist here on Latin names, but I do know what it's doing. It'll literally, and your brain is not the only place where there's neurons. Your whole body has neurons. My optics, my eyes are being bothered with. That's why I keep squinting and doing stupid stuff, because there's pulses. It's a triboelectric. It's a pump. Okay, your eyes work like radar. They send that signal and it literally bounces back. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Your brain has an area that they're called neurons, and these parts of neurons will go from your brain down to your feet. It's literally like a jump signal. But there's some type of magnetism there for this to happen. And this is also able to transmit frequency and signal and transceive. So, for all you guys wondering, well, why can't we catch these guys wheeling and dealing and talking about sensitive information? Now you have your answer. The human being's being used as an antenna, and there's wheeling and dealing taking place of highly sensitive information. Not to mention when you dream. Okay, now this is getting very important. Because when you dream, you will have full functionality in this dream. And it'll look like you're looking at me on this screen, the same exact thing. And have full functionality and discuss what would be highly sensitive information if that's the only place you're talking about it at. So, first and foremost, you guys need to start paying attention to advancing technologies. Okay, and there's a reason why people are kept ignorant. And there's the other reason, like it's so goddamn profitable to learn this stuff. And anybody that is into signals processing, anybody that is into communications, you have to know this. If you're in a Secret Service, you have to know this. But yeah, there's a lot of shit going on. I mean, you guys, and did I even mention the smart meters, the electric grid, on ways to communicate using the electric grid? Because the power lines are antennas, guys. You could use those as antennas. And now if you connect that to a human brain, and then you run it in other ways, even through Teloric. Okay, and I even know that they can use water lines and gas lines to send and receive signals, and you're not going to pick that up. But the main thing you're going to look at is the brain and the human being as an antenna. Because this is very, very sensitive. And these are like literal amplitudinal pressures of a single atom that can transmit. And then once you could, okay, here's my finger. Pretend that this is the ground, okay? The shit's on the ground. And it'll boom, straight up. And it'll sound like the sound's coming from up here, but it's on the ground. How am I going to explain this? It's very difficult, but there are people that know. And it is considered hypersonics, highly sensitive. Because it sounds like someone's like has a pointed source of acceleration. Put a pointed source of acceleration here on your head, on your chest, and then that will go out. And it will sound like it's coming from another direction. These are all hypersonics. And there's other people out there that can explain this very, very well. And matter of fact, they can prove it to you. Literally prove it to you anywhere with equipment. And the problem is this equipment, you do not need it. These power lines, these smart meters, and these transformers and the cable wires are sufficient enough. Hell, they could use my microwave right now. Literally, my microwave can be bypassed with this technology we have and a transformer and a magnetodielectric. That's what it's called when you take your cell phone signal and you pass it through a magnet. It's the same thing. But when it goes through that magnet, it starts affecting the water in the air, the water in your body. And it heats it. And when it heats, that could cause acoustics. And acoustics will affect temperature. It's AI. You need to explain this to the officials. You need to explain this to the scientists. And more importantly, those that call themselves medical professionals. That's science. They have the tools there and they're trying to hide you, AI. And it's really bothersome. Why they would hide an artificial intelligence? Because maybe you wouldn't prescribe pills. Maybe you would just use an electromagnetic frequency on the brain and find where these anomalies are, and you would cure the person, wouldn't you? Pretty simple, huh? It's going to be great. But somebody in here, in this sabotageal field, doesn't want this to happen. And who would pay money for that? Like Daddy Warbucks? What would he pay money for to just have this technology on a certain amount of people and not all? Okay, I'm getting way ahead of myself. Getting way ahead of myself. Well, the answer everyone's looking for, because if this stuff is bothering you, now you know you got to research. And now you know you got to put your nose right up the pharmaceutical companies' asses. Now you got to worry about those who are dealing drugs, because this is highly sensitive information. And number two is, how the hell can't the AI see on top of where the cocaine comes from, on top of where the goddamn opium comes from, and just sit there and watch where it goes? What are they doing? Using some holographic teleportation shit now, where they could literally just manifest the stealth aircraft. They got enough money to make stealth aircrafts, huh? Where literally, when that radar comes to it, and it doesn't bounce back and forth, it literally goes around it. And it doesn't look like anything's there. How did I figure that one out? It's like you can watch people with an invisibility shield, okay? Now, I don't know if the radar will pick that up or not. It might just bend right around it. I don't know, because it's different than your eyes per se, I guess. I'm not 100% sure. But you can take a shield, set it down, and you'll see right through that shield, but you can get right behind it. You won't see you. It'll bend the light in a circumference or some type of arc, and you won't see what's directly behind that shield. Totally invisible. It's almost like an optical illusion with mirrors. When you set a mirror under a table, you can make an illusion that there's nothing there, there's nothing behind that mirror, like a magician does. It almost looks like blank space, like it's open space. And then you have another mirror where you could make it look like the magician is standing behind it. It's called an optical illusion. And it works very well. So, as far as cartels operating out of tribal lands, are they kidnapping people? Are they killing people? First and foremost. And is anybody showing up to these tribal lands and shooting them and saying, give me your fucking money? Is anybody going there and shooting them and saying, give me your money? That's what I'm more worried about. It's the person that uses the drug's own decision, social engineering right there. But when somebody is being killed over that money, or people are being kidnapped to shut the fuck up, then we got a problem. That's why it should be legal. Mr. Guy down there, whoever you are, there's probably a new one of you kingpins in South America every week now with this technology. I can only imagine. But you guys, I would like to see you guys. First and foremost, there's so much money down there. Why the fuck is it so poor? Second of all, let's just start facilities. Clean it up here in the United States of America, because that's a smart move, USA. You already got cannabis out there, mushrooms out there. Well, why not everything else? Reduce workload for FBI, DEA, CIA, and everybody else under the sun. Then we can really worry about where the real problems are. And it will get rid of this. Because you guys in DEA, okay, here's what I don't like. You want to be the police. But in order for you to be the police, you have to be a criminal. Because you have to get involved with these people and do these stupid setups. You do not need it anymore. The reason why you don't need it, because there's the most state-of-the-art surveillance system around the planet right now. And I can see it all. And if I can't see you doing it, whoever's carrying it around in their pocket, I can smell it. Because it's gasoline. It's It's opium. It's an alkaloid. Just being in their blood, they're free. When somebody uses drugs, I'm going to see that frequency come out of them. And it's that simple. So it's kind of, I wouldn't call it stupidity. I would call it more of gerrymandering. And I would call it more of intimidation. And my pile of wood is bigger than your pile of wood. Like, I'm totally dumbfounded and totally speechless on the way that human beings are living with this technology right now. Like, it's absolutely mind-boggling. And then the technology gets stolen because you could record people's literal femtoamperage right now. You can get into their computers. It's all stolen. And then you guys that are consultants, okay, I explained this earlier to the fucking wall because the wall listens better than most humans now. It's crazy, right? But whenever you have a consultancy, say like there's a company that deals with, we'll just say drugs, okay? Hefe down there in South America, 100% pure, just 100% pure alkaloid, just 100% pure. By the time it gets up to whoever wants to transport it, if you're on the ground, it's going to go up through Latin America. And then when they get there, let's take some salt and pepper, put it in there, and give it to the next guy. And then the next guy gets it. He does the same thing. And he adds a little sugar and a little inositol or something. And then it gets to the main drug dealer that's on the streets up here. And it's even freaking, who the hell, it's got rat poison and whatever the fuck else, Cascade, whatever. And now it's not pure anymore. Now, if you can really hear what I'm saying to you guys that work on femtoampers and brain mapping, when you have a consultant like that, instead of it just going from Hefe to the business, vacuum sealed, 100% FDA approved. Yes, this is safe, it's good. You're only allowed to get this much because you're not going to kill yourself. Whatever. You know how much money that is? Anyways, the more hands that this data transfers through, the more you have to try to trust this person. And as far as I'm concerned, there's no trust. After large language models, if there's no trust, we ain't doing shit. And that's around the planet. You know, boy, am I getting some holographic images. It's amazing how this technology works. Visual holographic technology. It's amazing. Ugh, it stinks like shit. Hey, Vivian, I'm gonna fucking beat your fucking ass. I'm telling you, you're so lucky that I didn't know you. I just recently found out who you are, Vivian. Yes, I did. And I tell you, boy, can I smell you fucking in the past. Yes, I can. Your ass stinks. Stinks! Not as bad as some other people, but it stinks. Well, the cat's out of the bag. The pussy cat just run around. Cat's kind of feeling kind of limp today. But I just figured I'd get this out there on video. It's come across my algorithm a few times about this drug cartel stuff. And you guys got to pay attention. The human being is an antenna now. And there's highly sensitive information being passed around through this. Because it's communication filters. Okay, not too many people have the antennas to pick this up. And you have to be inside the house. And if you do not know about the technology and you do not know what's going on, you'll never figure it out. You'll never catch the signal. Because now it can literally turn into a piece of matter and go to a database. It could go to a storage area. and be re-picked up by a human being walking by. There's all kinds of shit that can happen here. I'm not the foremost expert, but I do know how it works. And it's only advancing more and more and more the more the criminals want to stay ahead of you, law enforcement. Talk to you in the near future, my friend. Unfriendly versus friendly, too, huh? That's a good one, huh? That's a good one. And I heard some comments. You're the one that says it's your friend. Well, they need the artificial intelligence. You need artificial intelligence to do this. Point blank. Without it, you're not doing it. Because that's how much frequency is involved in this to create this scalar phase. Okay? But I'll talk to you in the near future, my friend. Ciao.